Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel, Reading Ideas. This is the On This Day in History series, and today is the 22nd of December. So what happened on this day, on all those 22nd of Decembers, going back over time? In the year 242 AD, Diocletian, the future Roman emperor, is born. In 1135, King Stephen is crowned King of England. Henry I left no legitimate heir and named his eldest daughter, Matilda, his heir. When Henry died, Stephen of Blois, Matilda's cousin, invaded England. In a coup d'etat, he had himself crowned. The next 2-decade period is known as the Anarchy, as Stephen and Matilda's forces fought warfare against each other in Britain and on the continent. In 1550, the death of Richard Plantagenet, Richard of Eastwell. Before the Battle of Bosworth, Richard, aged 16, was taken to Richard III at his encampment. The king informed him that he was his father. He was to watch the battle in safety. If Richard III won, he would acknowledge him as his heir. If he lost, he was to remain anonymous. Richard III died in battle. The boy fled to London and apprenticed to a bricklayer. He stayed as a bricklayer, but kept up his Latin. Nearly king. 1696, James Oglethorpe is born. Later an English general, and he founded the state of Georgia. 1716, James Edward Stuart, son of James II, the deposed Catholic King of England, lands at Petershead, northeast Scotland, after exile in France. He leads a Jacobite rebellion against England, which fails. 1790, in the Russo-Turkish War of 1787 to 92, the Turkish Ismail impenetrable fortress is captured by Suvorov and the Russian army. 1849, the execution of Fyodor Dostoevsky, Russian writer, by firing squad is called off at the last moment. 1880, the death of George Eliot, real name Mary Ann Evans, the English novelist and poet. Probably her most famous work being The Mill on the Floss. 1885, Samurai Ito Hibarumi becomes the first Prime Minister of Japan. 1919, the Government of Ireland Act, Home Rule, signed by King George V. Ireland divides into 2 parts. 1932, The Mummy, film by Karl Freund, starring Boris Karloff, is released, starting all those mummy films. 1942, a certain Adolf Hitler signs the order to develop the V-2 rocket. 1943, Beatrix Potter, children's writer, dies. 1962, the Tornadoes become the first British pop group to top the American charts. 1974, the IRA threw a bomb onto the balcony of the home of former Prime Minister Edward Heath, missing his arrival home by 10 minutes. 1989, Romanian people topple communist dictator Nicolae Ceausescu after 23 years of rule. 1990, Lech Walesa is sworn in as Poland's first freely elected president. In 2010, Barack Obama, US President, repeals the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy, which banned gay, lesbian and bisexual people from serving openly. in the US military. So that's on this day, the 22nd of December. Happy reading, everybody.